In this video, I'm going to go over 3 surprising lessons that I learned from paying off $51,000 in debt. And I'm going to say some things that are going to go against the mainstream advice that you hear when it comes to paying off debt. So let's get into it. Welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Brett, and I'm a financial coach. My financial story began when I found myself $51,000 in debt, no savings, working 60 hours a week just to get by, and had no idea how money really worked. Once I learned some key knowledge and applied some practical financial principles, I paid off that debt in around 18 months and have been able to save and invest multiple 6 figures since then. For the last 9 years, I've been helping others do the same. So let's get started on these 3 lessons that I learned. Lesson number 1, it will take more time than you think. I remember when I sat down and created my debt payoff plan, I did the thing where I was like, okay, if I can just apply this much every paycheck, then I'll be able to be debt-free by this time. But it never really works out like that. Things always get in the way. Like I got sick and I had to go to the doctor unexpectedly, or I had to miss work, or my commission check just wasn't what I had hoped it would be. It was super easy to get discouraged and just give up. So I get it when people are struggling through the process of paying off debt. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back a lot of the time. So it's really key to learn patience and focus on staying disciplined throughout the process. I had to remind myself numerous times of what my goals were, and that as long as I was making some sort of progress forward, then that's what is the most important. It isn't about taking one giant leap to the end unless you hit the lottery or inherit some kind of big amount of money at once. Paying off debt is a series of small steps over time that move you toward your end goal. So if you're hitting that middle mile part of the process, just keep moving forward as much as you can. Lesson number 2, don't expect support from your friends and family. People you know are really not going to be that excited about what you're doing unless they have already done it themselves. Some people will even try really hard to push you off course. Now, it's not because they're bad people. It's just because it isn't something that is their priority at the time, so they probably don't understand what you're doing. I remember many days where my friends were going out to do fun things and I was spending another day at work, just trying to make a few extra bucks that I could throw at the debt to pay down it a little bit more. They would always give me a really hard time because I couldn't go out with them. They were like, why do you have to spend another day at work? So that's why I feel like it's really important to find yourself an accountability partner that can be that support for you throughout the process. So you don't feel like you're going in alone through this crazy debt payoff roller coaster that you're on. For me, it was my buddy Jason. We would call each other all the time and just talk about our challenges or the crazy things we were doing to try to get out of debt together. He also helped talk me off the ledge a little bit when I was like, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. In fact, he was the one that had to literally convince me to pay off my last debt because it was such a big amount that I was afraid to write the check to do it, even though I had the money to do it. I can still remember what he said when I called him. It was something along the lines of, the money you have in your account isn't even yours. It's theirs. You already spent it. Now you just gotta own up to it. Why would you even want to keep the debt around? Just write the check and be done with it for good. I called up the lender immediately after and paid them the money, even though, I did try to negotiate first. Now, if you don't have a good accountability partner, then hiring a financial coach might be a good option for you because that's exactly what I do. If you're gaining some value from this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. Lesson number 3, you can still enjoy your life throughout the process. Even though I spent a lot of time listening to the Dave Ramsey podcast while I was paying off debt, I couldn't really fully buy into that rice and beans lifestyle. Now, I know some of you Dave Ramseyers are going to get really upset about what I have to say here, but you know what? I'm just going to say it anyways. I was okay with cutting back and making some sacrifices, but the idea of just working and sitting at home and that was all I was allowed to do would have made me quit by month 2. This is honestly the reason that I see a lot of people quit, because it's really hard. And if you aren't enjoying the process, you will probably not want to be a part of it anymore. So here's what I did. I gave myself permission to still do some fun things throughout the debt payoff process. I would still go to the movies. I would still go out with friends. I would still go to concerts. I just did it a lot less than I normally would have. I created a money rule that used a percentage of my money that I made that was over my fixed costs, and I would put that into a fun money account and that's all I'd get to use for that. The more money I made, the more fun things I was able to do while I was still paying off my debt. That doesn't mean that you should just go hog wild while you're trying to pay off your debt. Then you'd never hit your goal. I realized that this process may have taken me a little bit longer to pay off the debt than it could have been, but I was totally okay with that. It's okay to enjoy the here and now while you focus on your future goals as well. And if you want to do the rice and beans thing, and that's what works for you, then that's totally okay too. It's your life and you get to decide. Now I'm curious, what surprising lessons have you learned while you're paying off your debt? Leave them below in the comments so others can benefit from them. And if you've enjoyed this video, then you're really going to like this video. So make sure to check out that one, and I'll see you in the next video.